All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's extra special and unique stream. Now, we have never done this before, and you guys are really in for a treat. My name is Yaroslav Burchenko. I am a market analyst at Olymp Trade, and today we have our very beautiful Angie with us, and she is going to together with me, answer any and all of your trading questions. This is a time where we want to give back to you guys, to spend some time with you on a personal level, talking about the difficulties, about the ups and downs that we've had over our trading this year, and just share with you our personal experiences that we've had, and hear from you guys as well, how you guys have been doing. Angie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Yaroslav. Thank you so much for asking and welcome everyone to our stream. So, yes, it's definitely going to be exciting and interesting. I can't wait to hear all of your questions, my friends.
So how we're going to do this, you guys, is everything that has been built up, all of the nuances that you want to get ironed out, whether it's about your account deposits, what a risk-free trade is, to how Angie is planning to wear this winter. What is the fashion trend that we have going on? What is the next color of suit that I'm going to buy? I don't know. Just whatever questions come to your mind. This is a live question and answering session. We are here for you guys. And the first thing that I want to say is welcome. Welcome. We're glad that you're here with us. Before we get started too far ahead, can you guys hear and see us all right? Is the sound quality good? Can you guys hear our voices?
Yes, please let us know in chat. I do actually already see a few questions. We'll get to them in just a moment. But as always, I love to hear what country you guys are joining me from. I just love to see, people from all over the world are joining us, and it's really exciting to see. Or just put a plus sign, or just let us know if you can hear us and if you can see us well.
That's right. Me and Angie are, we are, excuse me, we're glad to see you guys. I'm going to log into my live account. I do see that a person pointed out that my live account's only 90.
Who will educate me properly in this trade. I'm interested and I have been trying in my unlearned experience, but I am not making any money, so I need one to carry me along. Well, I guess I can partly answer this for you, Shemez. Well, we have so many different videos on our YouTube channel where we educate you. The Olymp Trade platform provides two financial instruments. We have FTT, which is fixed time trading, and also Forex. On Forex, our profit derives from by how far the price moves in the direction of our trade. And on FTT, fixed time trading, what we have to do, our main objective, our main task is to predict, forecast where the price is going to be. It's going to be either higher or lower than the current price after a certain period of time. I do want to mention that we have a dedicated playlist on our YouTube channel that is dedicated. One is dedicated to Forex, where you can learn everything from beginner to expert on everything, how everything works, and also on FTT. So I do highly advise for you to check out those playlists. And also, if you are experiencing some losses, I would probably suggest try different strategies, try out different indicators, and practice trading first on the demo account, and then proceed to the live account when you feel more comfortable.
That's right. To expand a little bit about getting a mentor, so what you're asking about is, can somebody please work with me? I need specific dedicated counseling. In a way, Olymp Trade provides that in the form of the analysts that we have in all the languages that are our main zone of operations. We have analysts that operate in that language. We have a Brazilian trader. We have traders from Indonesia, from Vietnam. We have VIP traders from India. So you guys can dedicate yourselves. Remember, in order to get something, you have to give of yourself. And what you have to give is your time and dedication. In my streams, personally, I've had a few individuals that have come for many months, if not many years, until they have outgrown, I guess, the channel and have gone on to dedicate themselves to another area of the financial markets. So one of the best recommendations that I can have for you guys is find somebody that you believe you have something to learn from and come to their streams every time. Ask them, when is your next stream? Express that interest in an individual's teachings or experiences, and then that way you can get the most from that person. I know that myself and Angie, we are more than happy to give our own hard-earned experience, our own lost and won dollars that we then learn from, and share that with you guys. So that would be the best way, I guess, to get a mentor from somebody in our company. And this is free. Again, a lot of people on the internet, they put themselves out as, you know, the guru that has the holy grail, that this is all you need. It's a journey. It's a really long and tedious journey, and we still make mistakes. If you guys remember, my account was at 30,000. I lost over 10 grand in gold. And so I had to top back up again, and I'm still, you know, learning and evolving as a trader. Thank you for that question, Shemaz Levinas.
Speaking
Yogesh,
about gold, yes, I also lost, but a little bit less than you. I was stopped out by $100, but I was really positive that gold was going to grow. I noticed that this previous Monday it was the better than expected PMIs from the United States for manufacturing and services, and the US dollar for a moment shot up and gold dropped significantly while the US dollar recovered some or corrected to the downside again. Gold has not recovered by much, so it's really surprising.
yeah, I'm still kind of waiting on that to change. I'm more bullish than anything else. There's some questions at the bottom that won't take too much time. I'm going to answer them quickly. Is Olymp Trade legal in India? As far as I'm aware, it is, but there are nuances to the Indian law where the financial assets again have to be converted back into Indian rupees in order to pay taxes on. This is similar in a lot of countries. And the next question from Salam Gur, can I invest for a long time? This is absolutely what the Forex platform is for. So you guys see here we have fixed time trades and Forex. On the Forex platform, you can and should open up positions with the intention of holding that for a few weeks to a few months. And I will explain why. Here under help, you guys, you have this category called assets. Really important button that you guys should get to know, especially if you have any questions about overnight commissions. So click on any of these stocks. Again, you can choose stocks or commodities. Those are backwards. Okay, perfect. Stocks. So we'll click a stock like Amazon. Everybody knows that Amazon is a really good online retailer. They have, you know, fantastic earnings. They are diversified against a number of industries. But right here under commissions, so you guys click trading commissions in dollars, and this is where you can see the commission structure. So for overnight, the amount of the position you pay 0.03. Now this is different for different assets. Again, this is Amazon. For something like Chevron, oh no, it's the same. But for something like gold, the overnight is much smaller. So you guys can see here, you can open up a gold position and keep it, you know, for literally, yeah, it's not even pennies on the dollar. It's half a penny or micro penny on the dollar. So I hope that answers your guys' question. We'll continue down the list with Yogesh Meds going on next. So Yogesh lost $90. Please guide us with the right strategy to crack this. And I've seen a few reviews stating we don't receive the profit amount. Please prove that wrong. Anybody in chat, can you guys help us out and say, have you withdrawn money? I guess it doesn't help to tell you that I've withdrawn money. It's taken up to 3 hours at times. But again, I have an expert status, so I have, I guess, my withdrawals take a lot faster than somebody who's just starting out.
Well, for example, we have in chat Aman Khan, who stated, thanks Olymp Trade, because of you I earn about $100 daily as a side hustle. So
who was that?
really
Shabana Khan?
It's from Aman Khan.
Okay. So when I was talking about guys who come all the time, Steve Decosta is one of those gentlemen that I've seen for over the course of a year. And he's still coming to even, this is a trivial webinar. It has very little to do with trading unless you guys take it that way. But nonetheless, this gentleman is still here in chat, so a big welcome to Steve Decosta. Angie, do you want to take on the next question? Chat is really active. I think we need to speed this up. So Yogesh Meds lost $90. Please guide us with the right strategy. The right strategy would be to use, so the market moves in wave-like patterns, right? We have an uptrend, we have a flat, and then we have a downtrend. Your job is to understand if we're in a flat, uptrend, or downtrend. Another layer would be, of course, understanding the fundamental backdrop. I recommend a combination of the two. The understanding the fundamental backdrop will allow you to judge whether a correction is legitimate or not, and how long, can something last when it's falling. Like, I know gold cannot fall forever. That is backed up by a fundamental analysis where there's too much money and gold has to increase in price to suck up some of the inflation that is not yet official, but it's obviously there. Angie, do you want to add anything to that?
To that, no, but I would like to mention there was a few comments from the next few comments from Islam Hassan. It's not really a question, it's more of a statement that you have to work on your personal strategy, and you have to learn and try a lot by yourself. So Olymp Trade always helps us. Islam Hassan, thank you so much for your comments, and you are 100% correct, and thank you for your support.
Yeah, to continue that, I'm sorry, he's got a great mention. He said, you need to accept your loss today. That's legit. Those are good words. I can't believe I've never said that before. So for those of you that lost some money, you need to accept that you lost that money. That will, I guess, convey the seriousness of working with the financial markets. It's not a game. It's not a casino. It's not gambling. It's a way of forecasting very volatile price movements. Very volatile. This is not something that you meet in regular life, and in fact, a lot of the skills that are needed, you need to fight your human instincts. Your instinct is to run. Your instinct is to hold on to losing positions. You can't do that. You need to accept the loss today.
I'm sorry, I missed it. I'm not sure. Well, the next question is from Stephen Decosta. Were you just speaking about Bitcoin? I was trying to read the chat.
I wasn't, no, but we can touch up on Bitcoin, what it's going to do. Bitcoin is in a parabolic, move higher, just parabolic, and the little correction that it's having right now is an indication that we're going to fall. Now, I released a video on Bitcoin. You guys can have a look on the channel where I went through all the history of the Bitcoin moves and falls. But basically, now that we reached almost the peak of 2017. Excuse me, yeah, 2017. Now there's going to be just a period of turmoil and correction. Guys, honestly, this is what I believe. Angie, correct me if I'm wrong. What do you think? But this is what's going to happen in the markets for the time being, right? There's not enough oomph, there's not enough move to drive the S&P market higher. And if the S&P market doesn't go higher, then I don't believe the rest of the world is going to go higher. So we're stuck kind of here at all-time highs, and this kind of move where all of our indicators are giving us bearish divergence, right? Price looks like it's going to go up higher. This looks like a flag pattern that's going to break out to the top, but our indicators, right, the MACD does not confirm this move higher. The relative, can you guys see that? Oh, let me change it like this. One sec, you guys. This is important, I believe. So yeah, you guys can barely see it. This is the end, actually. This is the end of both indicators. You guys can kind of see that this is tilted toward the bottom, and right here we have the histogram, and almost across here as well of the moving averages. So the picture looks like, to me, the world is not ready to continue going up higher. Too much uncertainty. The vaccine is great. That's an added bonus, but in order for the stock market to go higher and the world to be back to risk on, some things need to be put in place, some kind of safety measures, some kind of guarantee, maybe from Joe Biden, maybe from another central bank. But already central banks are putting out stimulus to the maximum. So how much more can we have of that?
Well, I did notice that the Dow Jones is trying to break above, well, it did break above the 30,000 points resistance. It actually reached a high of 30,164.5. That was pretty exciting. We'll see how that goes. So the stock market is trying, but yeah, it didn't stay there for long.
Yeah. Again, with the Dow Jones, the divergence is there. So price is going up higher. Indicators are showing that we're going to go lower. This is divergence. This is what is called a bear trap, or excuse me, a bull trap. People that work with breakouts, they're like, oh, wow, the Dow Jones broke out. This is exactly what we need. Unfortunately, everything else besides the price action is screaming that it's not sustainable. It's not going to last. But yeah, we'll keep monitoring. So for the US dollar, we monitor, of course, the US dollar average. And for the stock market, we monitor the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones, because the rest of the world investors monitor that as well. This is what the US dollar looks like right now. See, this is convergence, guys. This is, again, we're close to breaking the bottom of the US dollar, and the indicators are showing us that, yeah, we are also looking to break the bottom. Still more room to fall, I see in the relative strength index. But don't take, again, the indicators are secondary. They're secondary. The first thing that comes, most importantly, of course, is price. Indicators look back and kind of say what might happen. That doesn't mean you should follow them blindly. So it's confirming or going together with everything else that we've said.
I see Social Analytic is asking how to use the Martingale strategy. The Martingale works that if you experience a loss, you enter your next trade by doubling the amount of the loss, and you repeat this step until you gain a profit that wipes out all of the losses. Correct me if I'm wrong, Yaroslav. I know I personally, I think I've tried this strategy before, but I found it, to me personally, it was very stressful, and therefore I don't use it a lot.
So just to say a few words about the Martingale, I used it before when I was using trading robots on MetaTrader. It's not something you want to do by hand because it's very tedious. It requires you to be there every time. So your trade is 10 minutes, 1 hour long. You need to be there by the end of the trade to see if you need to get back in. Yeah, every time the trade, it's a gambling strategy that is used for racehorses. Every time the number one loses, you double on the next leading horse. Basically, it's a way of trying to always be ahead if the reliability is there. Now, I don't know too many traders that are top-notch traders that have consistency of their trades higher than 50-60%. Most of the traders that I know that are really good, like an oil trader that I know from Russia, he trades with the consistency of only 30%. So what that means is that the entry that he takes gets stopped out 70% of the time. That's a lot of losses. Can you imagine how psychologically that difficult must be? But when he has a winner, it grows so far and it goes so well that it's a 1-to-7, I believe, risk to reward ratio, that it ends up 1-to-7 exactly, that 70% that you need to make up. But his wins end up covering all the losses. So Martingale strategy, you double your wager amount. So say we start with 1, then we go to 2, the next trade. If we lose the next trade, we go to 4. If we lose the next trade, we go to 8. That makes sense? That's the amount that you guys put before. Again, I don't recommend using this strategy because sooner or later you're going to hit 20,000 for your one trade, and then that's not going to go so well if you lose that. So what's happening with Bitcoin, guys? I don't know the exact market reason why Bitcoin is falling, except that we have the exponential growth cannot last forever. And usually when we have one down day like this, you guys can expect that tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, so Saturday, Sunday trading, and Bitcoin trades on Sunday, it's going to be a continuation of that kind of move. Bitcoin isn't one of those like what would be a good example that goes that's binary in their volatility? It goes up crazily, then down crazily. This is the best story, I guess, of why Bitcoin is not going to jump up back to 20,000 tomorrow, is because the market is kind of like falling out of a window. Imagine if you fell out of a 2-story, 3-story window. How soon would you get back up? How soon would you get up, brush yourself off, and then run up to the 3rd floor again? Not very soon. You're going to take some time to recover. You're going to take some time to heal. The markets are very similar. Again, it's people that are trading these assets, whether they're robots programmed by people. It's still the thought process of a person that has the same instinctual safety measures that they have within them. Angie, I'm not rambling too much, am I?
No, you're doing fantastic. Thank you so much, and it's very interesting information. We have Tirtha Haldar unable to apply indicators in the Olymp Trade iOS app. Is there any limitation? Tirtha, I would highly advise you to contact our support team so that they can definitely check on it for you. But as far as I understand, in our apps on iOS as well as Android, the indicators should work. So definitely contact our support team so that they can check on it for you and see exactly what's going on.
I know what your problem is, my friend. If you are having an issue where the indicators are not going on the graph, you need to update your Olymp Trade version. This has happened to me so many times on the Android version. I can't put something on. It's because I have an old version and I need to go and download the new one. Such a common mistake, not even a mistake, but such a common issue. I hope that resolves it for you.
And then Vicky Kumar is asking how to control emotions while trading. Well, this is a very interesting question. It's a very important topic because we do have to be emotionally stable. We have to have a clear, we have to have a calm mind when we're trading. But trading, I think, in general, it's, it brings out our emotions, we watch our trades, of course, we do our best that we gain profit. We have a lot of videos on psychology. There's a lot of different steps that you should take before you prepare your trading, before you start trading. So you want to be well prepared before you get in front of the computer. You also, there's a lot of little things that you can do, of course, like get a good night's rest. Make sure that your trading space is aired out. Make sure that your trading station is set up comfortably so just try to minimize everything that can cause you stress from from outside of trading. But then while you're trading, how to control your emotions. I guess it's different from person to person. The main thing is not to get upset. I guess one thing is that you should understand that from time to time you may experience some losses. The main thing is to educate yourself, focus, pay attention, try to stay calm, and work on this when you're trading. What do you think, Yaroslav?
I have 2 concrete steps that you need to follow. Number 1 is have a back-tested trading system. You need to not only believe, have faith. You need to not only have that in your system, but you also need to make sure that the system is back-tested. So that way when you incur a series of losses, right, you lose 10 times. It's really hard to lose 10 times in a row, to be honest. But if you lose 10 times in a row, you need to understand that it's not because your system is crappy, it's because the market is not bending to your will. Number 2 is have a firm trading plan. You need to think and act and feel like a robot. Easily said than done. But what you need to do is write out all the steps that you take. When the Gator indicator gives me 2 green lines in a bullish trend, I get in on a buy trade. That's it. There is no emotions involved. You do what you studied, what you back tested, and what works, and you do that all the time. If it works, if it doesn't matter to you. You shouldn't take it personally as a trader. It's not your loss. You didn't mess up. It's the world does not bend to your will. And so that's absolutely fine. And as long as you have a firm trading system that you stick to, you don't get involved emotionally as much and you don't suffer as much emotionally as somebody who is. And again, take your losses and your wins identically. You shouldn't feel high after a series of wins. You shouldn't feel elevated, and I mean you probably will, but you shouldn't, jump on that train and call your wife and say, baby, go get that cell phone that you always wanted. um, Try to emotionally distance yourself from trading, and that will help you to control emotions. Hope that helps. So,
Uh,
in continuation, Angie, thank you so much for reading that question. The next question is how to use the Gator indicator. So the first one on my graph up here, unfortunately we can't see what it says, but this top one is Gator indicator. This bottom one is Awesome Oscillator. They are very, very close. They show you the dynamics and the strength of a bearish move or a bullish move. Now the Gator, what is the Gator? It is a combination of the alligator. So I'm not going to put it on my graph. Actually, no, I'm not going to put it on my graph, guys, unfortunately, but it's just going to add too much craziness. But here it is. The green, red, and teal line are the Gator. So green, red, and teal. And this Gator indicator puts together those lines and shows you. So basically the difference between the moving average lines is an indication of how big or how strong the impulse is, how big and reliable the trend is, and all of that is in a very easy to see graph with the Gator line. So if we have a green line above the zero line, that means it's a strong bullish trend, and as the green lines get bigger, the trend continues. As soon as we see a red line on the histogram line, that means that we are having a little bit of a breather. The market is taking a step back. And it's normal to see a lot of green, a lot of red in a bullish trend, especially on Bitcoin. The stock market may look a little bit differently, but basically the Gator is a trend indicator, and it shows you what the two opposing sides are. And as you can see, the Gator indicator has a bottom line as well. And this increases with volatility. So as you guys can see, the lines, the ups and downs get bigger and bigger as we continue into the epicenter, or into the top of the trend of Bitcoin. That's, I guess, what the indicator shows you. But again, it's a lagging indicator. You guys see the great big bear candle we have today? What do we have on the Gator indicator? It's actually pushed forward a little bit as well. We're still struggling, trying to get higher. So that's basically in a nutshell what the Gator indicator looks like and how to use it. Angie, do you want to speak on how to trade news releases?
Yes, so Social Analytic is asking how to trade on news releases. I personally try to trade on news releases that bring a lot of volatility. Of course, we look at our main focus is on the forecast. That is what analysts and traders and investors, they predict the release is going to be. And of course, we pay attention to the actual release when it's released. We do want to have a big difference between the forecast and the actual release. If it's better than expected, then we can expect that the asset of that country will rise. If it's worse than expected, we can expect that the price will decrease. But you see, the thing is that a lot of times during news releases, there's a lot of different volatility. So first the price shoots up, then it shoots down. What I like to do is I wait for the actual release. I definitely like to trade the non-farm payrolls. It's it is my favorite out of all of them because it really brings a lot of market movement. And what I do is I wait for the impulse. I wait for the traders to start getting in, and I wait for the price to start shooting in one of the directions, and I get in once the impulse starts.
Good. That's pretty much, it sums up how to trade the news. Thank you, Angie. Why Olymp Trade platform not registered under SEBI or RBI? So RBI is Reserve Bank of India. SEBI, I don't understand, or I don't know what that is. It's probably some sort of certification in your country. You have to understand Olymp Trade is an international brokerage house. We operate in 20 different countries, and in order to get certified in each and every country is just a hassle. It's just a hassle, and we have our own certification bodies internationally that we registered with. You guys can check that out on our site. But again, to have 20 different jurisdictions demand their own expected things from Olymp Trade. It's just it's too much. So how we identify the market is trendy or more fluctuated. Maninder Singh, probably the most strongest thing that you can do if it's an uptrend. We're going to have higher highs and higher lows. Does that make sense? So all these tops, they're going higher. These lows are going higher. That's a trend and not a fluctuating flat. Here you see, this one went higher, this one did not go higher. This is an indication that for some time being, it's not going to be smooth sailing in one direction. That's kind of the way that you can read a market just by a glance. Fibonacci levels. I'll quickly take this over if you don't mind, Angie. So Rahul Gupta, good question. Can you tell me more about Fibonacci levels? I'm going to go ahead and put them on my graph. How they're put on. You take the lowest point and the highest point of a impulse. You guys see this is where the impulse started. This is where it ended, obviously right here. So this is the Fibonacci levels. And this is something that is all across human emotion and nature and mathematics. The Fibonacci principle, the Fibonacci numbers, work in such a way that the distance from our arm to our shoulder is about 38.2% from my head to my toes. Also, when you go in the park, you go for a walk in the park, you are more likely to sit on a bench in the 38.2 area. Like pretend this is a bench from 0 to 100. You're more likely to sit in the 38.2 area or 61.8 area. You are not likely to sit in the middle or at the very end. Does that make sense? This is the kind of underlying fabric of the way nature works. Flowers have a certain amount of petals that also are part of the Fibonacci sequence. Shells, they are in a geometric spiral that also is part of the Fibonacci sequence. And the markets, the wave-like patterns of markets, also move in Fibonacci sequence numbers. So where the correction, so after an impulse, we use the Fibonacci sequence to measure a correction, or as you guys can see, I'm just going to change them from top to bottom. So if you do it from top to bottom, you can also see where price could go. So this 138.2, this 1.236 level, that's where Bitcoin might go. So right around 22,000 is my next price goal for Bitcoin if we do break 20,000 again. For a correction, the correction usually goes until 61.8 or 38.2. So somewhere around here is where the bottom of this Bitcoin fall will be. At around 15,000 that's my technical level as well and psychological level as well. So the Fibonacci sequence you can use as a way to enter again. So once Bitcoin reaches 0.61.8, you guys can start putting on buy trades for the Bitcoin.
Madhu Yadav is asking why stocks are up one day and down the next day. I guess what I would like to mention here is that, of course, stocks, different company shares, there's a lot of different sectors, of course. A lot of, there's different stores, there's cafes, there's internet stores, pharmacies, there's a lot of different industries. And therefore, it really depends on what's going on what's going on in the world. If there are any news releases, is the company producing something new, like is Apple about to launch a new iPhone? Or for example, it was very interesting, I think it was about a week ago or so, Amazon released that they are starting an e-pharmacy where they will deliver pharmaceutical stuff like drugs and stuff, medicine, excuse me, to their clients. And a lot of pharmacy stocks, like store stocks, pharmacies, excuse me, their stocks dropped by a lot with this release. So it really depends on what's going on in the world. Also, if people are consuming and how everything stands with the business.
Hey, first of all, Matt Huidov, hey, welcome, buddy. I'm just picking my brain why stocks will go up on the next day. it's quite difficult to forecast what the next day will be, but what you do have access to is futures. So here on the Olymp Trade platform, if you notice, the NASDAQ is open right now, but Apple is not. So you can use the indicator, the NASDAQ. This trades 23.7, or sorry, excuse me, 23.5. So this trades 23 hours a day. And this shows you what traders are doing before the market opens and after the market closes. So if you see that there's, you know, a large bullish run before Apple opens, you can use that information to trade Apple stock. So unfortunately, after they had the split, the 4-to-1 split going down, the graph doesn't look as pretty anymore. But that's a way of forecasting if stocks will go up or down on the next day. So Prasanna Das, please say how to guess the range of indicators and how to identify and when to apply in different situations. If you don't mind, Angie, I'll speak on that because I like to have indicators for all markets. So let me give you an example. On my graph, I have a trend indicator. Actually, I have a few of them. So everything that you see now are trend indicators. I have the Bollinger Bands. They have the 20 EMA for myself. I have the 50 EMA, 100, and 200 EMA for that Golden Cross strategy. Also has moving support and resistance. And then I have two oscillators. I don't get too crazy or too deep into them. I like the MACD and I like the RSI. I don't need any more. I am studying and backtesting the other ones. So far, I enjoy and the best results in my back tests, that's probably the best way to formulate that, have come from my MACD and RSI indicators. They show me when a trend is changing. They give me signals ahead of time, and then they also confirm or disregard the trade bias that I have. When you use oscillators and trend indicators together, they kind of give you hints at the global picture and is more easier to spot, especially if you're looking through multiple graphs throughout the day. So when you're not trading only one asset, which is my recommendation for you guys, trade only one asset. But if you're trading multiple assets or multiple markets, then having a glance at the picture is a very good thing. Perfect.
Oh, Yaroslav, I just want to mention, I just realized I'm looking at my chart as well. The stop loss and take profit, there's been an update on the platform, and it's fantastic. Now you can clearly see the take profit and stop loss. Have you noticed that?
Oh, yeah. After they got rid of the windows up here, then I can use the stop loss up here. I enjoy take profit. I use it or enjoy it very much. Yeah, you're right.
So Dixon Jack, welcome. I do see you quite often on our channel as well. Welcome. Thanks so much for your comment. Why doesn't Olymp Trade have a trading chart like TradingView? Because I used TradingView for my technical analysis. Here, I guess I would like to get a bit of a clarification of what you mean. I think that the platforms are very similar. I do understand that TradingView may have, it does have a bit of a more wide range of indicators and tools, but we are working on expanding those as well. So I'm not sure what you mean. What difference do you see between the trading chart for TradingView and Olymp Trade?
I think there's a huge difference. They're absolutely two different platforms, but there's nothing that stops you from using TradingView. I use TradingView in my technical analysis as well, but I place my orders on Olymp Trade. So combine the two and you'll be much better off. Royal Prajapati, why are you not legal in America and other big countries? Because those countries have a monopoly on the brokerage business. In the United States, nobody but a United States brokerage can have a legal entity and conduct their market transactions there. You have to go through an American broker in order to have access to the United States markets. Again, same reason why we don't have certification from the Indian Reserve Bank or Reserve Bank of India, because in the United States you have to pay humongous corporate taxes to be a US entity. In Canada, you have to go through so many loopholes that I don't know a single Canadian broker that functions internationally. Actually, I do know a few, but again, I know when I was trying to trade as a student in Canada, it was extremely difficult, and so many taxes, so many legal loopholes, so many certifications that you need to receive in order just to be a retail trader. It was quite difficult. As soon as I moved out of a big country, as soon as I moved out of the Canada, European Union, US, all of the doors to the financial markets opened. You can top up an account for $10. Where, in what country can you do? In what European country can you top up for $10? Nowhere. So there's a lot. The lower, I guess, requirements from us mean a lower requirement from you. You guys don't have to prove anything except your identity, and send in, a minimum of $10. In the United States, you have to have $25,000 on your account just to day trade. And you need to prove by passing several tests that you're a qualified investor. So again, our job is to bring access to the markets to people who don't have money. People who have money already have access to the markets. They're already well off and invested. We're helping to give the rest of the people access to the financial markets. No risk-free trades today, Satish, but if you listen up closely, you can get some really good information. How to use weighted moving average.
Well, basically, I guess maybe I can take this one over. We have 3 moving averages that are available to use on the platform. We have the simple moving average, SMA. We have the exponential moving average, the EMA, and we have the weighted moving average, which is the WMA. They do have a slight difference in the algorithm inside of it, how it's calculated. But if you place all 3 of them on the chart, they basically almost show the same thing. Oh, and of course, with any moving average, you can adjust the period of the moving average, and the shorter it is, the more changes it's going to show, and the bigger it is, then that's going to be like a more solid level of support and resistance. Of course, if the moving average is pointing up, if the price is above the moving average, then we have an uptrend. If the price is below the moving average and is pointing down, then we have a downtrend. Also, what you can do is have multiple moving averages with different periods applied to your chart, and you can look for signals when, for example, the faster moving average with a shorter period crosses the slower moving average with a bigger period when they're crosses. So when the shorter moving average crosses the longer moving average to the upside, then we have a signal to enter an up trade. Likewise, when the shorter moving average crosses the shorter moving average crosses the longer moving average to the downside, so we have a cross, then we have a signal to enter a down trade.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Preetham M asks about Tesla. So guys, Tesla is one of the biggest bubbles right now in the world, Bitcoin being the first one. For long-term perspectives, Tesla has much more room to the downside than it does to the upside. Like, it may look like this is a good deal, but again, the company is right now the biggest company by capitalization in the world. How that happened from a really small startup company that was making no money, that was not profitable for many years, to over the course of a year of pandemics, it became the biggest company. I don't buy it. A lot of people that I work with don't buy it either. It's difficult to say. So there's also a question, the next one is by Linus. Is it okay to sell gold now? No, it's not. Like, we missed the move. We missed the initial start now. The only thing you can get yourself is chopped up right now. There will be some ups and downs. Again, I'm looking for gold to find some footing. It's not found it yet. But does that mean that there's a lot room to fall? No, because this is a game of averages, you need to try to pick positions that have more room to grow or to fall, and not ones that have already done so and now you just come late to the party. That's kind of what we want to stay away from. So no, it's not okay to sell gold right now, and I don't recommend buying Tesla right now either. But again, these are solely my thoughts and opinions. You shouldn't take it as investment advice. You know, I guess a risk warning, I guess. So is Olymp Trade approved by Indian government to trade? Angie, do you have any info on that?
I do not personally have. Do you mean like if it's legal? I think we already discussed this question a little bit, and also there was a question about Malaysia. Olymp Trade is an international company, and traders are able to trade from many different countries, excluding, I believe, the United States and Russia. But other than that, I don't see any problem why you wouldn't be able to trade with Olymp Trade.
GTHZZ is asking this really interesting question, Angie. What do you think is what time the best in FTT?
Okay, let's see here. I've lost myself a little bit. I think my comments jumped, my chat jumped a little bit, but the best time to trade on FTT. The way that I like to trade on FTT is, me personally, I like to look for a flat when the market is moving sideways. So it's moving in a range between support and resistance. This is the best strategy for me because I trade when the price uh, moves from resistance down and then up from support. The market is usually flat whenever that country is asleep. As you may recall, there's different trading sessions, and that is basically, it starts with in Asia when, and basically it's those 8 hours, those business hours when banks are open, when financial institutions are open. So basically, the world is working. Everybody's at work. Traders are, and a lot of there's a lot of volatility. So that's when the market is volatile. When the trading session closes, and maybe there's nighttime in Asia, for example, there's nighttime in the United States, the markets and different assets that belong to those markets, they tend to fluctuate or be in a flat. So this is how I like to trade on FTT.
Cool. Thank you for sharing, Angie. There's a few quick questions that I think we should just get out of the way. Before the lockdown, I got more profit. This is Sky HD. Hey, Sky. Before the lockdown, I get more profit, but nowadays I lost money. Why? They have nothing to do with each other. The market, yes, we have increased volatility. Yes, there was market panic. But after that, normal market conditions, I guess, somewhat returned. I mean, the way the markets technically function, remain the same. We didn't have banks going bankrupt or governments shutting down or defaulting on their credit. So nothing severe happened to disable the financial markets. In fact, a lot of opportunity arrived for those that are bold, for those that understand when everybody panics, you need to buy. People that understood that made some money. Unfortunately, a lot of professional market participants didn't understand that because it's hard to judge where the bottom is. It's hard to judge when the second wave of corona will come. And it's always hard to put your own money on the line when you're not sure. So the fact that you're having worse profit trading now than before the lockdown could be that you're spending too much time at the computer. Could be that you are over trading and that you have too much free time on your hands to think about trades that you're already in. Relax, let the good ones grow, cut the bad ones short. Simple. Please say how to guess the range of indicators. We kind of already went through that. You guys don't need to do the questions twice because we are going down a list. We're only halfway down the list, and I'm going to say timeout, guys. We only have 10 more minutes, so please hold your questions for the next stream, which is going to be next week, guys. Next month, we have an awesome month dedicated only to trading. No more talking, no more teaching, only trading. If you guys want to learn from doing and not listening, come to all of our webinars in December. We're going to do something extra special for you guys. Unable to apply. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Angie.
Oh, I think we should definitely do some more live studios. I see that there's so many questions, and it's very interactive. I can't believe a whole hour already passed. I didn't even notice. Um, Did you read the next question?
Yeah,
I see a question from Mayank Nande. Why is the market heavily volatile in the last 2 months of every year? Do you mean like before January? Yaroslav, do you notice any change in the volatility
of course.
at the end of the
Of
year?
course I do. Now there's two types of seasonality. One is up until December 25th. December 25th is when people are doing holiday shopping, when dividends are getting cut off for the month of January, for, you know, a lot of stuff is happening up to December, and taxes need to be paid. I believe in some countries it's by December 29th, in some countries it's by December 25th for the year. So that's another reason why, you know, markets are super volatile. Now, after December 25th is a different picture. After December 25th, only the hardcore traders trade. Institutions, banks, they're all on holiday. Everybody is with their family relaxing. Only whales that have a few $1 million on their account, that are actively perusing the markets to see where markets are very, very thin, right? There's only a few traders trading at that time. And so when they make a position, it gets outsized. It becomes way more larger because there's nobody to counter it. There's no sellers to sell into your bullish optimism. So after the 25th, it's like a minefield. But if you're trading throughout the day and you're really glued to the graph, there's some excellent opportunities to scalp. But after the 25th, I don't think that it's a great opportunity to trade, as trends don't usually form. You sometimes get like huge impulses that shoot out for a few days and they look big on the graph, but once other market participants plug in and show up, then it gets knocked back down. So after the 25th is a little bit of a tricky market to trade. Rahul Samasi, deposit canceled every time you use again, that's not for us. We only do with the trading side. If you have any questions, here's the help button. You click it and then you go to support, and you can get in touch with somebody in chat. You can use the email service or the hotline. Again, all that information is there available for you. I answered Tathara Haldar's question, Angie, about indicators. And we answered it at the start of the webinar, my friend. You need to rewind the webinar and watch it over again. But I also answered
I
you in
actually
chat.
see the replies lower down in chat where they say thank you. I guess they just repeated the question a few
Oh, okay,
times.
okay. That's the way to go, by the way. Whenever you're talking to somebody and they have a webinar, you need to repeat your question if you really want to get it answered. I mean, sometimes I just brush over questions and then forget about them. So I apologize if we missed your question.
Deep Singh is really interested about Bollinger Bands. I know you like to use the Bollinger Band, so maybe a quick little run through.
Sure, sure. The Bollinger Band is basically the 20 moving average, and then it kind of calculates the volatility of the previous trend. So as you guys can see, as the volatility picks up in this candle, the band becomes wider. Now, this is a tool that I use to trade predominantly currencies. The reason for that being is that currencies, well, maybe NZD/JPY is not a good example, but Aussie USD is a good example, where we go from bottom to middle at least. And if we don't reach the top, that means we're more likely to go down than up. It's kind of a strength indicator. My best currency to trade this was the Great Britain pound, US dollar, because as you guys can see, it moves from up to bottom to up. So it's very cyclical, from up to bottom, from bottom to top. And again, if we don't break the middle line and don't go lower, this is an indication of strength. So I also use it as an indication of strength to then reverse. Usually I use it when I'm writing articles, like obviously from this point, the most logical step would be down. Again, the most logical step from somewhere here, again, this is probably a bad example, but so we've been going down and then we have a new week. The most logical place that we're going to go is up. And so the Bollinger Band kind of lets me know where we are in the market cycle. I'm sure you guys have at least heard of the market wave analysis. Bollinger Bands is kind of a shortcut way to read the market waves that we have.
I do see that our team is also answering some questions in chat.
That would be me. I answered.
Below. Let's see here. What have we missed? What have we missed?
So Madhu Yadav on Euro Dollar is asking, can we take the trade down? Let's have a look. Can we take the trade down from here? I'm just checking the economic calendar, you guys, real quick. What we have later on Friday. So today is a really big day for the euro. Yahoo, I would definitely hold off on that. We have the monetary policy meeting published from the ECB. Read through that. Actually put your mind to reading what the European Central Bank is worried about. That way you will understand what economic statistics you need to monitor and how that impacts the price of the euro. The number one force that impacts the euro is, of course, the European Central Bank.
There were two quick questions that I can answer right now. Let's see here. Deep Singh Solanki was asking, what SMA values do you usually trade with? I would suggest the short period to be 10, medium to be 50, and then longer periods is 100 and 200. So basically, these form a good areas of support and resistance. They also provide us with signals, and so you don't have to enter all of them on your chart. You can, for example, go with just 50, 100, and 200, or you can do 10, 50, and 200. So basically, just find the best, how it's best for you and how it's more comfortable for you. And there was also one more question. I'm sorry. Oh, it was Sunil Nishat, FTT versus Forex. Which one is better? What you have to understand is that the concept is completely different between the two. I did mention in the beginning the difference, and also we have dedicated playlists on our YouTube channel where we have many videos that are focused on FTT and focused on Forex. I use both.
Yes, there is no understanding that one is better than the other. They both have their purposes and they both have their uses. You can make a lot of money trading FTT when the markets are flat, when there's nothing really going on, or if it's really one-sided. Also, you can use the Forex market to make money if the market is one-sided. But in order to make money on the Forex market, you need to have a price difference, a big price difference. So we get in on this price and then price travels that much. This is our profit. Whereas with fixed time trades, you can make profit even if it moves a little bit in your favor. Does that make sense? I also had a quick question. Change in president of USA will affect Euro USD anyway or not? So this is from Cartoon Animation. The change in president will not affect it in a sense of reversal, but it will affect it in the sense of it's going to continue growing. So the US dollar is going to continue falling under Joe Biden, and the euro is going to continue strengthening. You have to understand that a strong euro is not good for the European Union because they are a manufacturing hub in that part of the world, and they do, create a lot of goods and services. And so a strong euro is not good for their export market and is not good for their manufacturing market. And so what is happening this year for the euro is not something that the European Central Bank is happy with. But again, there's not much they can do. They are already as low as they want to go, and already with the multi-trillion euro stimulus package is still, pushing, making the euro weaker, yet it's still strengthening. And the reason the euro dollar is strengthening is because the US dollar is weakening. Again, this is a policy of the foreign policy of the United States. They want their US dollar to be weak because they want to boost their own local production and manufacturing and economy. So what you guys want to watch out for when looking at the euro dollar, something that is really obvious right here for myself, is the horizontal line. If you guys see, this is a level that we've been smashing into. If we were going to say that this would be a double top, this move higher invalidates a double triple top. This move even higher invalidates that this was any kind of reversal signal. In fact, we are still in a bullish uptrend up to September this year. And then after September, a lot of assets, took a period to correct, to kind of relax, to get a breath. And then once again, if we start looking at this level, we have higher highs. This is an indication that the euro is most likely going to continue growing. So as mind-boggling as this may be, especially if you've been trading the last 3 years and you've been trading into euro weakness, well, after the coronavirus, things have changed, guys.
There's one more quick little question that I'd like to answer, I guess, before we start wrapping things
Yeah.
up. VPM92 is asking, what is open and closing hours of trading? Think about it this way. Um, Normal business hours, and I'm going to estimate this a little bit, is from approximately from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's when all the companies, when the businesses are open, generally speaking. What I would like to advise for you to do is, because I'm not sure what country you're from, what time zone you're in, simply Google different trading sessions and then adjust them to your time frame so that for when at a certain time in your country you will understand that this is when the Asian trading session opens, this is when the European trading session opens, this is when the US trading session opens. I would focus on these three: the Asian trading session, the European trading session, and the United States trading session. But do try to check them in your local time frame.
Yeah, just to add a little bit to that, I want to open up a map of the world. Give me a sec, guys. So imagine, so this is the world. Imagine where, so this time starts over here, so minus 12, or plus 12, I guess. Plus 12, and then goes this way. So the first markets that are open is the Australian market and the Japanese market, and then it transfers into China. The peak market hours, again, we have, like Angie outlined, 8 working hours a day, correct? 8. The most of the money in the world is right here, where we have Europe, then we have Great Britain, and then we have the United States and Canada. So let's start counting out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. New York is open, Europe is open. So you want to be in that time frame. You want to be trading when Europe is open and when New York is open. They overlap. And actually Great Britain is open at the same time. So the most best trading hours, where the most volatility is if you're trading the Forex market, is of course when we have an overlap of those time zones. That's it.
Alrighty, my friends, I do want to remind you that you definitely want to make sure that don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Definitely give us a like if you enjoyed this stream, if you enjoyed this webinar, if you want to have more streams like this. We want to see your thumbs up. And of course, don't forget to ring the bell so that you don't miss out on our notifications, our future streams, and any other releases on our YouTube channel.
That's right. So starting next week, Angie, remind me what our webinar is for Thursday, for Wednesday.
On Wednesday, that's going to be my stream, and I'm going to be trading FTT using the triple O strategy, my friends.
There you go, you guys. So Wednesdays and Thursdays are going to be our webinar days. So for those of you that want to take a little bit of time out of your week to progress your art of trading, to learn more about the craft, make sure to come to those webinars. And you guys are absolutely fantastic at asking the right questions. As you guys can see, when you ask the right question, you get the right answer, and now you know more about the world of trading, about the different ins and outs and little sneaky ways of making a little bit more money. And so that is our goal. We're going to continue supplying you guys with the best information that has been tried, tested, and proven by us in the real life world market environment, and we are going to continue offering you guys that service. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you guys can get a notification about when we do go live or a new video is posted. And with that, we're going to wrap things up for today. You guys have been great. Thank you so much for your time, for your attention. I hope that this advice or the answers that you got today, they help you out in your journey to trade, in trading, and also they earn you some more money. Thank you guys for your time. Together with Angie, we wish you guys good luck trading out there, and see you next time.
See you next week.
Bye, guys.